Welcome back to On the Volley, okay, where we talk about all things football, but we're here today to talk about Celtic. Now, we're in the centre of Rome, outside the Finnegan's Irish pub, the Celtic pub in Rome, and I'm here with Scottish Mike, who's just got back from Istanbul. How was it, Mike?
It was a wonderful cultural experience, exploring the kind of rich history of Islam.
Okay, so enjoy yourself?
I did enjoy myself, yes.
Okay. Was you on your own?
No, it wasn't on my own. It was just fascination, man. No, I wasn't on my own. I was with a friend. We had a lovely time. It was very nice.
Okay. Do we know this friend?
Do you know that? You don't know this friend personally? No, you don't. Maybe
male or female?
Androgynous.
Male or female?
Androgynous straddles the fence. So.
All right. Let's get back to the game. Okay. Yeah, I thought he was going to go all red, but he hasn't. So.
I'm red anyway, generally.
Yeah, that's true. When it's sunny. Right. Well, listen. We did say, after the last podcast, that after the game, the FA Cup semi-final against them lot down the road, I'd be asking you your opinion. Okay, and your views on it. So I've already done a podcast on it. Okay, I've already given my view on the game. So let's hear yours.
Well, I think, I remember before the game what we talked about, and I'd said if we're going to lose one of the remaining Old Firm games of the season, I'd rather it was this one.
Yeah.
Because the league's more important. So yes, it was disappointing to lose, but frankly, I wasn't too upset. And again, it was a pretty close game. I don't think there was a great deal of quality on show from either side. Celtic definitely didn't hit their heights. Rangers just seemed to want it more. I think, for their season, it's like, they've not won a domestic cup in, 10 years. I think this really mattered to them, So I think looking at that game, the team that wanted it more won it. And I think it came down to that, They were in harder on the tackles, they were chasing more, they were running more. Even after, doing like 120 minutes on Thursday night, they looked like the fresher team. Celtic just didn't look super interested. There were a lot of players who just weren't on the game, like Rogic in particular. I thought looked way off the pace compared to what he's used to. Abada didn't do. So most players didn't turn up on the day. Rangers did very well. They were very physical. They were strong. They got the goals when they mattered, and that's it. So again, to be where we are right now is way better than any Celtic fan I think was expecting at the start of the season.
Absolutely.
So even though it's always disappointing to lose a game to Rangers, particularly in a cup, I personally didn't feel that disappointed about it.
What did you think about the tactics that they used?
I mean, look, it was quite obvious. They've been looking at the way Celtic have been playing, the way Celtic have run over them recently, and I don't know if it was an explicit instruction to. I'm not sure Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is the kind of guy to say get into them, but they got into us. There was a lot of heavy challenges. I think that was it. Like there were many, at least 3 or 4 challenges in that first half that could have been escaped yellows, and they were proper, they were hard, they weren't super dirty or unfair, but they were done on purpose, I think, to just put Celtic off their stride, to send a message that you're not going to run over this again. And frankly, it worked, So, what can you do,
Look, I agree with all of that, and the game was pretty even. There was nothing outstanding there, but we could have finished it. Carter Vickers.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, that's it. If that had gone in, you're saying 2-0, the game's over, But I mean, look, you could see even before they hit the ball, he was going to miss it. He was leaning back, the ball was going up in the air, so he missed it. But Rangers hit the post before we scored as well. We hit the post. If that had gone in, it could have been. There were like 10 things that happened that would have made it a different game.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can point to that one miss as kind of like as what's won the game. It was a tight game.
Definitely.
I think Rangers were, overall, but it was a tight game. It was a kind of game that could have gone either way.
Absolutely.
And I think Starfelt was a bit unlucky as well. Like it's that kind of one a defender has to go for. That you get a striker right up your arse. You got to go in for the ball, or it's a goal, and it came off and it went in the back of the net, and it happens, and you move on, and that's it. So yeah.
So no, I completely agree with you. Yeah. Okay. Spot on, on your analysis. Look, we lost the game. I don't understand why we weren't at the game, but we weren't at the races. Sometimes that happens. Why do you think we weren't up to our normal levels?
I mean, it's a hard one to answer, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Was it complacency? I don't think so.
No,
like, I think just sometimes, if you don't, like Celtic have started slow in a few games and then grown into it and done really well. And I felt that was going to be the case here, maybe, but like, it just never seemed to click, even when Greg Taylor scored, Like, and I mean, we didn't really create any real chances, like, and I've seen this in a few games with Celtic this season where sometimes it really clicks and every single pass finds its man, the movement's great. In this game, it was like some other games I've seen where the ball was just a half a yard behind the player instead of half a yard in front of them. They're just not on the same wavelength, And maybe it was down to Rangers just being super disruptive and like being stronger and like just being more prepared to fight, which they didn't do in the last couple of games. They were full of fight. And I think because they were full of fight and they were putting those hard challenges in and they were up for the game, they disrupted Celtic, they made it hard for us to actually play our game. And I think that may be something to do with it, or maybe they were just tired, And sometimes, again, people talk about the midweek game, you're exhausted. But Rangers came off of like reaching the semi-finals of the Europa League, which is an amazing result, They were probably still buzzing, and they knew before the game they were being told and hearing these are the two games that are going to define their season. Yeah, so they got to the first semi-final. That gave them a kind of confidence boost, and then I would think they would also look to say we've got to win a domestic trophy. It's been so long because this was our last chance.
They haven't won anything yet, no.
No, they haven't won it yet, and in a way that would be even more comical were they to get to because now they're in the final, and it happened before. Remember, they beat Celtic, and then they were like, "Yeah, that's us. We've got a trophy in the bag." Well, no, they didn't. So I think I'd find it.
So who are you supporting in the final?
In the final, that's a hard question as well, isn't it?
I'm supporting Hearts.
I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm going to support Hearts, but I wouldn't be disappointed if Hearts were to win. Shall I say?
I'm going to be supporting Hearts in a final. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, if I have to choose between the two,
it would be comedy gold.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, look, the best team will win. Okay, so we've discussed that. Now, I want to talk about VAR, video assistant referee.
No.
It has been voted in. Apparently only one team voted against it, so it's definitely coming in. And it's coming in, I believe, after the World Cup, which is halfway through the season, basically.
Right.
I don't understand the reasoning behind putting it in halfway through the season and not at the beginning of the season.
Well, that is weird. That is a strange decision because, you're changing the rules halfway through, and then by that point you may have already had a couple of dodgy decisions that have changed the course of the league, so it does seem an odd one. I don't know if it's the logistical nature of it. They need a couple of months to get their shit together, they need to get the money together. I don't understand it. I mean, surely everything's in, the technology's there, it's not difficult to train people to get it going, but I'm assuming they've got their reasons, other than just being a bit shit, but who knows.
I for the life of me, it beats me. I don't know what the reason could be. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you're going to put VAR in, I believe you should put it in at the beginning of the season, and it should go through the whole season. But hey, the powers to be know why they're doing it. If there is any reasoning behind it, I don't know. But look, that aside, how do you think VAR will affect the refereeing and the decisions in the Premiership? Because one thing we have to remember, is that the SPL, the referees, are part-time. They're not professionals, and I haven't really, been critical of the refereeing this season. I thought it was pretty fair until Madden in the semi-final, which I thought was disgraceful, when he in the semi-final of the Scottish FA Cup. And I've already said this in my last podcast. I hate criticising referees. I don't want to blame referees for the result, and I didn't blame Madden, but his refereeing was absolutely atrocious. So how do you think VAR is going to affect change, the decision making.
Well, I mean, I think if we're going to talk about how VAR is going to affect things, let's start with looking at the semi-final. Like, I do not recall a single decision that VAR would have intervened in. Yes, there were seriously heavy challenges, but where would VAR have intervened in that game?
If it was a red card.
Yeah, but I don't think there were any red cards. There were definitely some rough challenges that could have been yellows. I don't think there was enough to say clear and obvious error in that game. So I don't think VAR would have made the slightest bit of difference to that game. So
it may not have made the slightest bit of difference, but I disagree with you on the fact that they shouldn't have, there wasn't any red cards. I thought at least one player could have got sent off.
Well, okay. So, I mean, look, fundamental thing with VAR, and we've seen it elsewhere, is that at the end of the day, it's a tool to help decision making, but humans still have to make the choices,
Exactly.
So there will still be mistakes. Hopefully, what it's going to do, as it has done elsewhere, is take away the really egregious ones. Like for example, the Old Firm game 2 games ago, where Celtic should have had a penalty, or pick any other game. That's the kind of thing VAR would pick up on. Okay, so hopefully it will take away like a lot of these really controversial flashpoints. But people are still going to argue. People are still going to say, "Oh, friggin' honey referee, Fenian linesman, blah blah blah." You will still have all the same arguments. You will still have all the same conspiracy theories. There's just going to be the kind of VAR in the middle, of it. But I mean, it will make a difference, I would hope. But it remains to be seen as well,
Yeah, but look, if we look at the game, okay, between Manchester City this season and Everton, blatant handball by Rodri, okay, wasn't given by VAR, denied Everton a penalty.
Right, but that's it, and mistakes will still happen, like people, like it's still interpretation, and it's sometimes as well, I don't know about you, it's like...
But is it interpretation?
Well, no, of course, there's always interpretation. Look, so if you watch something 10 times in slow motion, there's always a different way of looking at it, and they start to second guess themselves, It's like I don't know. I mean, I think it's entirely possible, and I think it's likely because we've seen it in the past. But mistakes will still be made, and in a way that will make even bigger controversy in Scotland, because people will say, well, that's such a clear and obvious penalty, whatever, and the ref still hasn't given it, even though he had every bit of evidence available. Therefore, he's been paid by the dark forces of Satan, to stop Celtic winning the league, and then they'll be out in the street with pitchforks and like shaking fences, and it's going to go. I'll be out there as well. I'll be like, ah!
All right, okay, but let me go back to what you just said. Okay, mistakes will be made.
Yes.
Now, the whole point of video assistant refereeing is so that mistakes are not made.
Well, no.
This is the reason why VAR was put into use. Okay, but we've seen it in the English Premier League. Okay, the amount of controversy that is created, and the fact that a lot of fans are saying that VAR has actually had a detrimental effect on football because it slows it down. Players are celebrating a goal, and then it's and they're making too many mistakes. An offside which is clearly offside, not giving it, giving an offside which isn't an offside. A handball which isn't a handball being given, a blatant handball not being given. Okay, there are too many mistakes and controversial decisions. Okay, when the whole point of VAR was to basically eliminate that. So I don't know, okay, how much of an effect, how much is going to improve the decision making, okay, in Scotland. And I agree with you. If VAR, okay, right, is not used in the correct way, and the decision is given when it's blatant and obvious to see, okay, right, on the action replays, that it's a wrong decision, of course people are going to go mad.
Well, do you know what? Maybe VAR is going to finally uncover the massive Masonic conspiracy that lies at the heart of Scottish society to stop Celtic winning anything. I think that's it. Because Celtic have never won a trophy ever because they've always been stopped by the Masons. So I think this is finally it. VAR will prove the existence of this secret dark cabal at the heart of Scottish society. So it's actually going to be a good thing, Sharky. Football needs controversy, and I wouldn't be surprised if refs have been told, listen, can you make the odd fuck up so we can still have some controversy?
Football doesn't need controversy. Football needs goals. Okay, now controversy is part and parcel. Okay, you're always going to have it, whether you have VAR or you don't have VAR. Yeah, right. We had the same thing. Okay, right, in the English Premier League. You know, you've watched games in English Premier Leagues before VAR, where everyone was saying, "Oh, we need video technology in." Okay, I think the only one that really works is a goal line technology.
Yeah, well, it worked. Yeah, but here's the thing. So here's the difference, right? Goal line technology is entirely automated, right?
Yeah.
But any time you've got a human element, all you can do with VAR and all these other things is reduce the kind of margin of error for humans, because humans will always make mistakes. So with VAR will never ever eradicate every single mistake, because a ref or the linesman will still get it wrong, and they carry their own set of biases and prejudices within them that they're not necessarily aware of that will come to play. So there will always be mistakes, there will always be controversy, and that's a good thing.
All right, so let me ask you a question now, okay, right? You know, in line with your statement, if that's the case, then why, okay, do we spend so much money, okay, on the technology of VAR, when all you need is to put someone in front of a monitor, okay, and just look at the action replays?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. Why? That is a very good question.
So you've got someone in front of a monitor, you know, speaks to the referee, says, look, I've just rewatched the action replay, or hold on a second, I need to rewatch the action replays, okay, so that I can give you, you know, my opinion to base your decision on.
But isn't that the very definition of VAR? What you just said, it's a man
exactly.
looking at a monitor, you know?
Exactly, so why are we wasting money on it?
Well, how much money are we wasting? Like, how many?
Well, Celtic is going to be, you know, their quota, I believe, is close on 200,000 a year. And, you know, them lot down the road, if they come second, I believe it's about 164,000 a year. Right. Okay? And then you've got the lower league clubs, okay? I mean, the lower league clubs, the people that are, you know, lower in the league, okay? It's going to cost them about 67,000 a year. Why waste that money? That's what I'm saying.
Well, the question I would ask is, why is it based on league position? Should it not be based on income, profit? Should that not be your standard for doing it? To see you pay what you can afford, you know, because the team who wins the league might not necessarily be the richest club, you know, for example.
I don't know. I can't answer that question. You make a good point. Absolutely good point. Okay, but I think maybe you should send a letter to the powers to be to ask them that question.
I'll send an angry letter, dear, from an angry Scotsman. You know, angry good Scotsman
man.
in Rome.
And that letter, I want you to post it on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay, on the Volley, you know, Instagram and Facebook.
Actually, that's
page.
what we should do. We should have the letter of the week where we have to write a kind of pointless, sort of spurious letter to the Scottish Football Federation of the year.
Right, that's
Scottish
you
Football
then.
Federation, whatever, you know.
We found a job for you.
Make up some bullshit to
Scottish
just fucking complain about, you know.
All right, look. There's not really much more we can say about VAR. We have our opinions. Everyone has their own opinions. We're just going to have to wait and see what effect it has.
Right.
Okay, I'm not pro VAR. To be totally honest, okay. I mean, VAR for me, okay, you know, I could do without.
I'm kind of with you on that, because I you know what, it does slow the game down. And like I said, mistakes are part and parcel of the game. Like, you know, things like I was a fencer for a long time, and like one of the greatest joys in fencing was when arguing with the referee when you got it wrong. You know, there's no greater pleasure than getting in the referee's face and screaming spittle all over his face, you know, when he's got it wrong. And if that's gone, what have you got to get angry about? You know, it's kind of crap.
They'll still get angry. They'll still get angry even with VAR. Anyway, listen, quick question. After the defeat in the FA Cup semi-final, okay, how do you see our game on Sunday against Ross County?
Well, I'd hope to see a big reaction from the boys, because this is a must-win game. Because if we don't win this game, it gives Rangers hope, it gives them momentum, you know. 4 games to go, we're maybe only, like, you know, assuming they win as well, we might only be 3 points ahead with another Old Firm game to come. So that's going to be that. If that's not motivation enough for these boys to pick themselves up, go and not necessarily hand it a hiding to Ross County, but get over the line. So I think that's what I'd be looking for at the weekend. I'd be looking for the reaction. I'd be looking for an early goal to settle the nerves. And then a tight professional defensive performance, make sure you don't leak any goals, get at least that one goal up, and look to get these boys firing again, and I don't know, I think one thing we didn't talk about is I think we definitely missed Giakoumakis, and I never thought 3-4 months ago I'd found myself saying we missed Giakoumakis. I think we really missed him as that focal point on Sunday. I don't know what his injury status is at the moment.
I believe he's back. I believe he should be back.
I think he'll make a big difference. Big, strong lad, gets in the positions. Kyogo's clearly still not back up on it, So I think we really want him in the team. We want him playing. And we just need to get over the line, and that's it. I think if we win this game, we're down to 4 games left. One of them is no firm game. We're looking, so it's game by game, get closer, get ourselves being over the line, get Giakoumakis back, and start to just fire again. Just enough to go over the line. I don't expect sparkling performances because everybody's going to be nervous. There's no doubt about it. Like a whole new team, a lot of these boys haven't done it before. Fortunately, we've got Callum McGregor there, who has been there, done it all, and I'll be looking to him to really lead these boys over to kind of help them keep their heads, and just make sure that we get the points on the board, and nothing else matters at the weekend. I don't care if it goes in off somebody's arse or whatever, as long as it goes in. That's it.
Okay, so you think we're going to win?
I think we're going to win. I don't think it's going to be a pumping. I would maybe go for, I think maybe 2-1, 3-1, perhaps at a push.
2-1, 3-1. It's not a pumping.
No, it's not a pumping.
But scoring 3 goals.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So what you're saying, it's not going to be a 7-0.
I don't think it will be. No.
But hey, I'm happy with that. Look, I think we're going to win. Mm-hmm. 5 games left. Yep. Okay, right. I don't think we're going to lose concentration. The league has always been our priority. It's been a priority for the whole team, for Ange, for the players. So I'm pretty confident on that. Yeah. Anyway, so are you going to watch the game on Sunday?
I am going to watch the game on Sunday, yes. Yeah, I'll watch it in my house. The kids are all going to be milling around. So I'll force them to sit down with me and watch Ross County. I'm sure they'll really enjoy themselves, Dad, why are we watching this? This is boring. Dad. But they're going to have to watch it anyway.
Alright, well, I'm going to be watching it here in the pub, yeah?
Cool.
So, hopefully I can have another, post-match analysis review.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you're free, because he's pretty busy, okay, right? And he's now become a jet setter, do you know what I mean? Okay, every now and then he's going to be flying away for a weekend.
This is a very.
I'm not going to say what type of weekend.
This is a very definition of precarious living.
I'll leave that to your imagination.
All I'm going to say to you is it's clearly nothing's going on in Sharky's personal life, clearly, because he's far too interested in mine, frankly.
No, nothing's going on in my life.
Yeah, exactly,
I'm single.
Yeah.
Okay, I just seem to attract people that maybe are not the right fit for me. So
okay.
anyway, I prefer to keep them at a distance. Look, anyway. Thank you very much for watching this. Okay, any comments, put it underneath. Okay, that I will respond to it. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, from Mike, me, we're out.
And a final shout out to Aaron Ramsey's cotton candy legs.